Well, long lines are coming for folks entering the state capitol building during the upcoming legislative session. The metal detectors at all of the entrances got a lot more restrictive this week, cutting down the number of state workers and journalists who can pass through them without stopping. All new here at 5 KXAN political reporter Josh Hinkle explains why that means longer lines for you.
Less than a month away from the start of the legislative session, Capitol security is bracing for the big wave of visitors. Each week, thousands of people will flood the building, and most will have to wait to pass through a metal detector.
I think it's a very big inconvenience for everyone.
We found tourist Liz and Sebastian Laval on the same steps where a gunman opened fire earlier this year. That prompted the state to install the security devices. Until this week, there were several exceptions, allowing some to breeze through without stopping, easing wait time for everyone. Now, state workers who don't work here in the Capitol and journalists like me will be standing in line too. You're going to have to wait in line behind me while I do all this. Unless I take advantage of a loophole in the system.
Pick up your firearm and your shooting hand.
The state will allow anyone with a concealed handgun license an all-access pass. You don't have to carry a gun, just the license. Hundreds of lobbyists and a handful of reporters have already been taking courses to secure theirs.
Imagine that you work in an airport, but you have to go in and out of the airport all day long.
But a handgun license isn't a practical idea for most who only visit once or twice a year, if that.
I would probably not make it all the way inside and, maybe go somewhere else.
The Lavals are just grateful they came to the Capitol before the legislative crowd convenes next month.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to be stuck in lines.
Josh Hinkle, KXAN, Austin News.
The addition of those extra groups, including journalists, comes at the same time that a House committee has decided to limit the amount of media it credentials, potentially affecting coverage of the issues. KXAN News has filed an open records request to find out what's behind that limit. We'll tell you why once we have that information. We should also tell you the Texas Association of Broadcasters is behind the security measures, even for journalists. They say journalists are just like the rest of the public and should not be made an exception.